Hey, this is Michael, and these are some of my banknotes. So, this is a banknote folder that I've got, and I picked it up not too long ago from Renix, and starting to put in some of the banknotes, just gradually putting in different types of banknotes into this folder, filling up because pretty handy this folder. It's got 300 slots, so there's plenty of storage space, and I like the idea of having all of my banknotes in the one location. So I'll show you from the start of the folder. And then we'll go through and then I'll add in some more. So today I'm going to be adding in these banknotes here, the Australian $1 banknotes. This is just a few of them that I'm going to be putting in the folder from a few different years. And as you can see, unfortunately, this one here, it's the only one I've got from 1966. So unfortunately, this one's got a bit of a tear through and it's got sticky tape on it, which is not ideal. But at some stage, I will pick up one of those from that year in slightly better condition. So we'll put those in a little bit later on. Why is the screen gone a bit dark? It does this every now and then. But I'll check a few comments here. G'day, Heather, how's it going? Hi, Michael, how are you doing today? Good, thank you, good. All right, here we go. So let's get this back in the holder. So apologies if you've seen some of this content before because similar to what I've done. Thanks, Heather. I was putting in some $5 notes the other day, and unfortunately, I realised that I hadn't put in my $1 notes before the $5 notes. So I took all the $5 notes out, and today I'm putting in the $1 notes. But for those who didn't see that video, I'll just start from the starts here. So these are some Australian pre-decimal banknotes, these ones. So from 1942, these ones, 10 shilling notes. So they're pretty cool. Picked up those a little while ago. And I've left a page or two for some more of those if I pick some up in the coming time. And then onto the 10 shilling notes, the more recent ones. So these ones for 1961. So I've got a few of these going on here. How you doing, Michael? Good, thanks. Smart Fizzy. Ohio, it looks like Monopoly money. Yeah, it's a bit different, doesn't it? When you haven't seen notes before, it just looks like play money. But 1961, so I've got those 10 shillings. And then it steps up into the £1 notes. So a few different years I've got in my folder here. So I've got a 1942 just in the middle. That's in really nice condition, actually. So it's this one, the 1952, and another 1952 down the bottom. And it's might be a bit hard to pick up on the camera, but all of those notes there, all the same note, but just the different colours. Like this one's really dark down here, the bottom one. And this one's from the same year. And that one's quite light in the green colour, so I reckon that's pretty cool. So, and then we go on to 1938, so a bit of an older one again. And then one of the more recent ones, the 1961 £1 note. Okay. So, and then I've left a few more pages blank here, so that just in case I find some more, or I probably will purchase some more £1 notes over the years. And then onto my £5 notes. So I really like these. These are pretty cool. The blue colour, Australian, 1941. These top two here, and the last one here is a 1952 Commonwealth £5 note. So pretty happy with those three banknotes there. And because I like those, I'm going to leave a few sheets available for some more that I might buy over the coming years. And also, I've left going to leave a few sheets for the £10 banknotes. I haven't got any £10 pre-decimal banknotes, so I've left a few available there. And then this is where I can start on the $1 notes. So this is where I'll start to slot them in. And these are the ones that I'm going to be slotting in right here. So I've sort of organised these in consecutive order in that from the years that they were produced. So this is a 1966, and then we go on from there. Haven't got every year of the notes that they were produced, but got some in uncirculated condition and some unfortunately not in great condition, but that's the way it is. It's collecting. I'm going to start somewhere. All right, so I'll do one at a time. This one is so these notes early on, in the first few years, it had Commonwealth of Australia across the top. And then after a few years, they just had Australia on the notes. So when you see Commonwealth of Australia, it means it's the earlier versions of them. All right, can take that sticky note now. I know where I'm at with the folder. This one will be a little bit off camera because I've got to slot it in on the other side because the entry for that slot is on the on the other side. So that one is in there now. So that's what it's going to look like. Cool. I'll check out a few more comments, see if anyone's got any comments, just as I'm going to be a fair bit of talking, but not as much. Is it worth a lot? Some of these notes can be worth a little bit. Yeah, it can be worth a bit, but probably not a great deal, not a huge deal of value. I'll mention a couple. So let's have a look at this one here. This one is a Commonwealth of Australia as well. And to know what year it's from, you look at the signatures on the notes. So this one's a Phillips Randall, and then I've got a book over here, this book here, which is the Australian Coin and Banknote Values book. Renwick's Australian Coin and Banknote Values. Got that linked in my account. So that was a Phillips Randall. The signatures on that note. So this one's here, Phillips Randall. So it's a 1969 banknote, and it's in relatively good condition. So it's probably one of these ones here. So probably about $17 to $20 or something like that. Maybe even a little bit more, maybe $30 odd value in that banknote right there. So I was lucky to buy it for $1. But there we go, 1969. So let's slot this one in. Okay, so we've got a couple of Commonwealth notes in there now. It's cool. Next one after that, I've got this one here is a Phillips Wheeler. That's a Wheeler signature. So the Phillips Wheeler notes, they're from 1972. So 66, 69, 1972, this one down here. All right, so we'll slot this one in. Yes, I'm sort of going in order from the ones I've got at the moment, just in orders from the years that they were produced, so, or the ones that I've got anyway. So 1966 was the first year that they produced $1 notes in Australia. Prior to that, we had those pounds and shillings notes and things like that. So how do you find the link? So in my accounts, if you click on my profile picture on TikTok, and then below, when it goes to my TikTok page, below the Australian flag, near the top, there's a little Australian flag, and just below that, there should be a link. And that link, if you click on that, it goes to my link tree, and there's a number of different links in there. How do you know which year it is? So this book right here, the Renwick's Australian Coin and Banknote Values, it has the years down the side here. But to work out what years they are, you need to look at the signatures on the notes and be able to identify the signatures. So if you see here, this is an example in the book. It's a Phillips Randall, but people would look at it and go, I got no idea that's a Phillips. So on the page previous, it actually has a signature identification chart. So you can look at all the signatures that appear on the banknotes, and you can work out which one it is. So if you go back here, you go, okay, so what's Phillips Randall? So you got to find the Phillips Randall. Now, once you've been doing it for a little while, you sort of get a bit used to it. So this one here's a Phillips, J.G. Phillips, and the Randall looks like this, R.J. Randall. But you can always, when you're starting out, you have to be flicking back and forth a fair bit to figure it out. But you look at the signatures on the banknote, and then you go, okay, I need to work out what year it is. That's a Phillips Randall. Phillips Randall's a 1969. So that's this section of values that you're looking at on the banknotes here. Can you please show the front of the book again for sure? So this is it here, the Renwick's Australian Coin and Banknote Values book. Yeah, so I've got a link of that through my TikTok account and the other profiles too. So on Instagram, I've got a link, and that goes to my link tree as well, and same on YouTube. So you can get to this book. So it's one of the tabs on my link tree. It might be a little bit further down. Renwick's Australian Coin and Banknote Values. All right. So that's the first three. That's the first three that I'm going to be putting in. And then what else have we got here? We've got some more. So this one here is a Phillips Wheeler as well. But this one here, different to the one that I've just put in. This one's a Phillips Wheeler down the bottom. but this one's Australia. So they've got some that have got Commonwealth of Australia on them, the Phillips Wheelers, and some that have got Australia. So these are Phillips Wheeler Australias. So these are 1974. These ones are 1972s, and these ones are 1974s. So here we go. So we'll slot this one in. So that one's in. What book are out putting the notes in? What are you putting the notes in? This is a banknote folder that I got from Renix. So the same people that made that book, the Renix Australian Coin and Banknote Values book, they sell heaps of things to do with collecting banknotes and coins and all sorts of things. So I got this one from them, and it has 300 slots in it for banknotes, and I sort of like that because I've got a fair few banknotes, and I like the idea of being able to have them all in one place if I can. So that's why today I'm just starting to put all my $1 notes into here. Well, most of them anyway. And as I've sort of started the stream, I've got some of my earlier banknotes at the start of this folder, and I'm progressively working through the folder, so in order. So these are 10 shilling notes. Then we get into the £1 notes. Leaving a few slots available for some more that I might pick up over the time. And then these are £5 banknotes from back in the day in the 40s. And then, leaving a few slots available there again. And then we're getting into the $1 notes, Australian $1 notes. And then after that, it'll be $2 notes, $5 notes, $10 notes. And mainly these ones here, mainly these paper banknotes that I'm sort of interested in, the older style of things. So, yeah. All right, any other questions? I'll check a few questions out here. I have a $2 note. Is it still worth $2? Yeah, it's still worth $2. Still legal tender, but it's worth more than $2 to collectors. So, yeah, and some of them can be worth a lot of money. Some of these notes can be worth a fair amount. I've got some $20 notes that I've actually just listed for people to purchase if they want to. That they're in this book here, but I'm not sure exactly which one it is just off the top of my head, but they're in perfect condition, and it might be one of they're $500 each. They're worth $500 each book value. So yep, it's a $20 note, but it's worth $500 to collectors. So yeah, depending, because some of them are quite rare, and especially in good condition. Where have you sourced your notes from? Oh, over the years. Over the years, a few different sort of locations. You can, if you're really lucky. Most of mine have been from banks, and it's only if people cash in their old banknotes to banks, and if you're lucky to be in there before they send them off to the Reserve Bank, and unfortunately the Reserve Bank destroys them. So if you're lucky to get into a bank and you ask nicely and they allow you to buy them back out at face value, then that's a way of getting them, but you just got to be lucky there. Yeah. My $2 note has been sealed in a book since 1985, 1986. It's pristine. Nice. Yep. If they're in good condition, that's what holds value too. So when they're in perfect condition, they hold more value as well. And this is one here that's in fairly good condition. Just have a look. It might have a slight bend. It might have a little bit of funny stuff across the top there. But this one's a Night Wheeler. That's a Night Wheeler. So I'll look up the values of this one. In pretty good condition. So this is the book. So this is the book here, and we're looking for Night Wheeler. So Night Wheeler. So it's a 1976 note that. Now there's a few different features in here you've got to work out. So there's center thread and side thread. And the center thread and side thread, there's a security feature on the note that is through the middle of the note that you can't really see. I'll put the light behind it to see that metal, that dark line through the middle of Australia and down through the note. That's a security feature on the note. And you see that little ghost panel over there too. But this one here is probably a center thread, and sometimes that's in the middle and sometimes a little bit further over. So they call it a center thread when it's closer to the center of the note, and when that thread's a little bit further over, they call it a side thread. So they're just sort of two different notes that were sort of produced. So, but having said that, it's in really good condition. So it's either like $55, maybe $40. in this condition, that particular banknote, this one right here. So I bought it for $1, and it might be worth around about that $55. All right, check a few questions. Hi, Michael. If I add some money onto my account, I will subscribe. If I add some money onto my account, I will subscribe. Cool. Yeah, so, and then for those people who might have seen my video from yesterday, this is the one that I'm giving away. I'm giving this. This is a really cool banknote. I'm going to have some of these in this folder too when I get to the $10 notes. But this one I'm giving away to someone who subscribed to my YouTube channel and who comments on the video that shows this banknote. If you comment on that video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, you go in the draw to win this banknote, and I'll send it anywhere. If you live anywhere in the world, I'll go and send it to you wherever you are. So that'll be cool. All right, let's get this one into the folder. All right, that one's in. This one here, it's another Night Wheeler. We'll see if this one, I'll just take the light off again. That's sort of a center thread probably again too. Slot this one in. Okay, so we've got those 3 $1 notes in there. Check a few more questions here. Thanks for the chat, Michael. Appreciate it. No worries. Slay, g'day me up. Stylen, are the Henry Parks $5 notes worth anything really? Yes, yeah, in really good condition. $35 each. So I've actually got some for sale at the moment. I just sent an email out to my email subscribers, my email list, and there's a few things that I've sort of sent out. So this one here, that $20 note's worth $200, so that one's for sale. And yeah, I've got some of those. These are the ones that you're talking about, these 2001. Oh no, it's not those ones, it's the... What's the question again? How am I going? Henry Parks, yeah. So this note, on the other side of this note, it's got Henry Parks. They're year 2001 $5 banknotes. Yeah, so in $35 in perfect condition. Yep, there we go. I live in the Murray, and if I win, can you ship it here, or is it that too far? In the Murray? Murray, you mean like the Murray River? Yeah, I'll send it anywhere in the world, so... If you live in the UK, I'll send it to the UK. Yeah, anyway. How often do you need to update your reference book? Oh, you mean this book that has the coin and banknote values in it? So this book here, they usually every couple of years, it's usually every couple of years that this gets updated. So this one came out last year, I believe. I think it was last year, the 31st edition. And... yeah, no plans for this year, so probably next year they might update it again next year. But these values here are a guide. They're a guide. So sometimes the values are a little bit under. So some banknotes, like those 10 shilling banknotes that I was showing a little bit earlier on, these ones here, apparently there's someone who's buying these up and they're paying a lot more than what the book value is sort of indicating. Because I don't know what they're doing with them, but yeah. So sometimes the book value is a little bit under. Sometimes it's hard to achieve book value. You've got to wait a long time to try and get the book value. So yeah. Sorry, I meant I live on the Murray. Oh, you mean like on a houseboat or something like that on the Murray? Yeah, as long as you've got a postal address. Yeah, as long as you've got a post box that I can send it to, or a letterbox or something like that. Yeah, happy to send it anywhere. How do you check what year your $1 note is from? Good question. So... what you do is, you've got to look at the signatures on the note, and the signatures correspond with the year that the note was made. And for people who are new, you go, okay, I got no idea what that signature is. Well, in this book, the page before the $1, it has a signature identification chart here. So it has all the signatures, and it has underneath each one what name that is. So if I flick back to here... it was this one here we're looking at, wasn't it? I know that that's a Knight stone, and I'll show you on the previous page. So just from experience, so that one there looks like that. That's the Knight, and then the stone is here. So the stone looks like that, and that's John Stone. So that note is a Knight stone, and then you look up here to try and find the year. So that one's a Johnston Stones, 1982, and then you've got Knight stone, a 1979 banknotes. So That note there is from 1979. They were produced in 1979. And then you've got to determine if it's a first prefix, which is the first run of the notes, and they're usually worth a lot more. See these values through here, these are dollar values. So in perfect condition, $400 if it's the first run of the notes. And to determine that, you look at these letters, you go, okay, if it's got a CPK before the serial number, that means it's a first run. Now this one's a DGE, so it's not a first run. And if it's a last run, the last lot of the that focus isn't great, 1979s, it'll be a DGH, and that one's a DGE. So unfortunately, it's not a first or last prefix of this banknote right there. So that means it fits into this first category. So it means it's this category here of banknotes, which is the majority of them, the main run of them. So these are the values of them there. And these, there's a few different values there because the different condition gradings. So that at the top there means uncirculated. That's about uncirculated, extremely fine, very fine, and fine. And again, on the previous page, there's a definition for each of the different gradings there, so you can read which ones suit the descriptions there. Cool. All right. So let's add some more $1 notes. What have I got here? I've got another one here to put in. That one's a night stone itself, so I'm going to slot that into the folder. I might just slot in 3. Another night stone in pretty good condition. I like that design on this side. It's pretty cool. Indigenous design on that side. And then another one. What's this one? This one's another night stone in pretty good condition too. So pretty happy with that. Oh, so this one's asking how much are they worth. So this one here, this one's got a bit of a fold across here. So it's probably the about uncirculated condition, if that's the only thing with that one there. So it's a night stone, and it's not a first or last prefix. So it'll be about $10 value, for that note there. But I've been lucky. One year I found a banknote. I got one from a bank. It was in really good condition, and it was a first prefix from one of the years. And in the book, the book value for it was about $280, and I listed it for $280, and it sold like really quickly. So I bought it for $1, and I sold it for $280 like really quick. So yeah, if you're lucky, you might come across some of the rarer things. And in hindsight, maybe I should have held on to that, but yeah, when you're collecting, sometimes you do have to move things on because you have to buy some other things that you want. So, and that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm selling a few banknotes through my email list. I've listed a few and just sent an email off today to my to my email list. So, just so I can sort of free up some money if some of those sell, that I can buy some other things that I want. Yeah. Which banks usually have machines? Because I want to get a roll, but my ANZ doesn't have one of those. It depends on the bank branch. So the town where I live, there's 5 different banks, and none of them have got coin rolls. So I have to drive 30 minutes to a bank location that does have a coin roll machine, and you just got to search around and try and find banks in your area that do stock coins in rolls if that's what you want. Yeah, so I don't usually use the coin roll dispensing machines myself. I usually just get them over the counter too. So I just go up to the bank teller staff and just ask nicely for the coins, the amount of coins I'm after, and then they just we go from there. G'day, Coin Queen, how's it going? Just going through some banknotes, just putting some banknotes into my folder. Here, Coin Queen. Eddie, I wonder what will happen when the value of coins and notes when we become a cashless society. Good question. My opinion is that they'll gradually go up over time, coins and banknotes, because they won't be around and people will be sort of a little bit interested in them because it's they won't be around anymore. So I reckon that's my thoughts anyway. Have you ever bought from Wynyard Coins in Sydney? No, I haven't. No, I live on the coast in Victoria, so I live down Ocean Grove, down below Geelong. In Victoria. Hey, I appreciate the gift there. Thanks, Coin Queen. G'day, mate. G'day, Brett. How's it going? All right, let's do another page. So Well, this $1 note here, it's a night stone again. But this one, when I got this one, it's got a little stamp on it from one of the banks. So it's national. And I think it says Keilor, which is a town in Victoria. Might say Keilor, I don't know. Anyway, but just interesting. I don't know if that'd add any extra value to the note, but it's just a little bit interesting. So I'll slot this one in. Done. All right, so this one here, I'm lucky with this one. This one's a first prefix. Unfortunately, it's not in awesome condition. It's pretty rough actually, but it's a first prefix, which means that these letters are the first run. It's the first run of notes in Johnston Stone, 1982. So this is the last. This is the last year that they produced banknotes, but this was the first run of them. It's in the first run. So this note in this condition, $25, about $25 value, even though it's really dirty and pretty creased up and everything. So $25 value in that condition. But to have a first prefix is pretty cool. Pretty happy with that. All right, so I'll slot that into the folder. Has anyone who's watching got a star note? I'd love a Australian star note. Oh, Michael, official Vine page. G'day, how's it going? Might stick this little one on here just so I remember first prefix, that's a first prefix note. Now this one here's in really nice condition, a Johnston Stone, pretty much uncirculated condition. So prices on this about $10 value in this condition. So that's pretty cool. Put that in the folder. Keep it nice. Beautiful. Thanks, Queen. L. Are there specific folders for notes and coins? Yeah, there's tons of different options for banknote folders, and like I've had my banknotes in these little wallets, banknote wallets. So I've still got some $1 notes in here that I'll keep some of them in there. But yeah, you can get all sorts of different folders. But the reason I'm transferring everything into this folder, this folder holds tons. It holds about 300, and I'm trying to get most of my banknote collection in this folder. So I've got, try to keep it all in one place rather than lots of these little individual folders. Do you have links for all of the folders you use? Not all of the different folders, but I do have a link to Renix where you can search all the different products. So if you go through my profile picture, just below the Australian flag, there's a link, and that goes to my link tree. And then one of the links on my link tree is Renix, the Renix website. And you can click on that and go to the Renix website and just have a look at all the different options that might suit you. Yeah. Love your work, mate. Appreciate that, Lee. Thanks for the tips on how to get pricing. Yeah. Yep, it's cool. It's cool having that book. That book can help, especially these banknotes. But it can take a little bit. It took me a little while to figure out how to use the banknotes section to value banknotes. So, yeah, so hopefully, if you've got any questions, just ask because, yeah, happy to help. Can you please explain how to identify a star note? Okay, good question. What if it's got it somewhere in here. It'll have a picture probably towards the end. So what you're looking at for a star note, you're looking at the serial number, and then there'll be a star instead of the last serial number. So there'll be an example in this book. I'll just get to it. So I don't know what page it's on. Oh no, I can't see it there. It will have an example in the book here somewhere, but I'm not sure exactly where it is. Might be the start of the banknotes section. I can't see it. I know it is in here somewhere, but I can't remember exactly where it is. Yeah, but I do have a banknote in here a bit further back in the folder. It's a US banknote. There's some star notes. So these ones here have got star notes. So they're little stars after the serial number there. So I'll try and zoom in. You can see this one at the top here. It's got the serial number and it's got a little star there. The Australian stars on the Australian star notes, they're like little asterisk type things. So yeah. Oh, whereabouts? Oh, whereabouts? Oh, I'm trying to think. Yeah, trying to find an example for you of the Australian version. But anyway, we'll keep on going. How much is the old $5 note? Oh, it depends which one. There's tons of different $5 notes and different values. But yeah. All right, keep on slotting in a few more of these. Just another nice condition, Johnston Stone. Where are we at? All right, we'll slot this one in top. So that one's in. And then the last one here, this is the last $1 note I might put in today. And then that might be all of the $1 notes I might put in here for the time being. So what I'll do is I'll probably leave a couple of pages just in case I come across some more $1 notes free. And then I'll start my $2 notes, start putting in my $2 notes. But I might do that. Might do that another time. Yeah, I'll check a few more comments out here. Commonwealth of Australia, $1 value. Oh, it depends. Depends on the particular note. I've got a few of them here. Depends on a number of factors. So that, yeah, Commonwealth of Australia across the top of the note. But if I get to the $1 note page, so all of these notes here, they're all Commonwealth of Australia. So, and there's a number of different, so 1966, 1968, 1969, 1972, they're all Commonwealth of Australia banknotes. And these are all the different values. So it depends on the condition of your note. These are the condition gradings at the top. So in perfect condition, that's when you got the really high values. And it depends on the letters on the note. So if you're lucky, you've got a first star prefix or something like that. It's got a star on the note, and they're the ones that have got the serial number with a little star at the end. They can be worth a lot of money. So the most expensive one, $14,750 odd for a last star prefix from 1968. But yeah, but you know, as low as $8. So you can get a Commonwealth note from 1969 in pretty rough condition, just a standard one, only $8 value. But I reckon it's worth probably a little bit more than that. But yeah, so these ones are Commonwealth, but it just depends on which ones. How much is the old $1 note in your folder? So I've got three different ones here. This one's really rough. It's got a big tear through it. So what's that one? That one's a Coombs Randall. So it's a Coombs Randall. So that's Coombs Randall, 1968. So it's pretty rough. So $85 is the poorer condition one of those. So that'd be interesting to know what if I was going to sell that, what you could sell it for, because it's got a huge tear through. It's actually got sticky tape on it. So yeah, I don't really know. Who knows? You could if you're going to sell it, you can maybe list it for $70 and then just sort of see and have offers open if people want to put offers in on it, because it's must be quite a rare year, that one, to even have it at a high value for a pretty poor condition. So that's pretty cool. This one here, Phillips Will, it's in a lot better condition. Sorry, Phillips Randall. So let's have a look at the Phillips Randall. So Phillips Randall, that's a 1969 note. So yeah, these are the lower valued ones. So even in good condition, this one might be about $55, but that's in pretty fresh, crisp condition. And this one up here might be worth more than that one, even though it's got a huge tear through it. So yeah, it really depends on the year of the note and how scarce it is. And that's why this book's really helpful, because it can guide you on the really rare things. Yeah. And actually, I've got a couple of things for sale at the moment. And the $20 notes, I've got some Commonwealth $20 notes. And the Commonwealth one's about $200 odd for the particular one I've got. But then I've got an Australia one, which is a little bit later, but it's a rarer one, and they're worth $500 each. So it's just about more than double, or is more than double. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, just to remind people, for those people who might not be aware, that I'm giving this note away, this banknote. So if you want to go in the draw to win this Australian banknote from 1988, you have to jump onto my YouTube channel and subscribe, and then filter your search to sold items. No, what am I talking about? That's like searching up values. So yeah, just comment on this video on my YouTube channel and subscribe. So, and then you're in the draw to maybe win this banknote. So yep, you definitely want one of those. So they're pretty cool. They're awesome, those banknotes. All right. G'day, Jarrah. How's it going? What platform do you sell these on? I'm not really selling these on eBay at the moment, but I've got an email list. So I've actually just sent out an email today with some of the things that I'm selling. So if you're on my email list, you would have received an email today with the things that I've got available. If people are interested in buying, they just email me back. So and if you want to get onto my email list because I'll be selling some more banknotes, some of the older things. And here are some of the things like these. These are ones that I've got for sale. They're pretty rough. They're sort of the 1982 banknotes. So about $2.50 each. I'm selling those for. There's about 23 of those. No tears in them or anything like that. Just pretty rough, pretty crinkled, a bit dirty and stuff like that. So $2.50 each, but people just email me how many they want and all that sort of stuff, and first in, best dressed. Then I've got some $2 banknotes from 1985. So same again, pretty rough. Well, that one's got a little tear in it actually, so I might put that aside. Don't want to sell any ones with tears in it in this little lot anyway. So pretty rough, crinkly, about $4 value. Selling those for about $4 each, but it's just good to have a bit of an example of something from a while ago. And then what else have I got for sale? I've got, these are the Federation banknotes, the 2001 banknotes. Got Henry Parkes on the other side, and this is Catherine Helen Spence on this side. So they're about $35 each in perfect condition. I've got a few in perfect and a few in the lesser condition, about $24 for the ones that have got a little bit of a crease through them. So got those ones. Then I've actually got a few of these for sale as well. So I've got a few of these in perfect condition for sale. The book value is $65 each in the perfect condition. And then I've got a couple that have got slight wavy sort of look to it across the note, maybe a slight crease, and they're about $40 value. So I've got about 3, I think, in that's got maybe just a little bit of an imperfection through it. And then I've got about 4, I think, at the perfect condition that are available for sale as well. And then some of the more expensive, the rarer notes. This one here is $200 value, book value. The Commonwealth of Australia $20 banknote. So that's that one there. And then I've also got some other ones in that little slot there too that are the quite rare. They're $500 each. So a few in there of those. But I've got plenty of other things that I might sell over the coming weeks and months and stuff like that too. So if you want to go onto my email list, and to do that, just jump through my link, just grab my click on my profile picture, and then just below the Australian flag there's a little link you can click on, and if you grab my free guide through those links, you put your name and email address in, that puts you onto my email list. So you'll receive any emails that I might have, and yeah, any offers that I might have for people there too. All right, we'll check out a few more things here. So these are some of the Zimbabwe notes. These are the ones that I find a little bit interesting, a little bit of a gimmicky type thing. But that's $100 trillion. So I reckon that's pretty cool to have a $100 trillion note. They're actually worth, they're getting up in value at the moment, in that they're worth, to collectors, people buying them, about $300. At the height of, these are from about 2009, but from the height of inflation in Zimbabwe, they were worth about 9 cents US, because the currency was just collapsing. So these are official, these were the official banknotes, and this one's in perfect condition. But yeah, so I think it's pretty interesting. And then we've got a $10 trillion note there. Got a few $10 trillion notes, and I've got a $20 billion note from Zimbabwe as well. How old were you when you got interested in coins and notes? When I was a kid, my parents had like a little chest, a little just a smallish type chest, and it had all these coins in it from around the world, all these foreign coins. So I used to like looking through that every now and then. I reckon that was really interesting. But it was only about 5 or 6 years ago that I started to get into it a bit more. So yeah, so not too long. Someone says I have a Zimbabwe $2 note. Cool, cool. Yeah, the more recent ones, they're not probably not the same as these ones. These ones, the currency collapsed, so they might have they had to use the Australian dollar. I think sorry, the American dollar was their currency there for a little while. I think because Zimbabwe dollars were sort of worthless. But I think Zimbabwe money is back in, dollars back in. Do you have a full 2019 coin hunt set? I will have a quick look, Jarrah. I'll have a quick look. I think I do. I think my kids might have one. Yeah, I do. So that's the 2019 coin hunt. So I've got a full set there. But I've tried to collect 2 sets of those, Jarrah. And the second one, I'm still missing a few on the second lot. So I'm still missing a few there for my second Great Aussie Coin Hunt. Yeah, what about yourself? Have you gone with those Great Aussie Coin Hunts? Where do you buy the book? So are you talking about this book here, the Renix Australian Coin and Banknote Values? You can get it through, I've got a link through my profile and in my TikTok account that gets to this book. So if you go through the link, you click on this book, Renix Australian Coin and Banknote Values, and it takes you straight to the Renix website where they sell this book. Yeah, so that's probably the easiest way to get to it. Is there a way I can email you because I'm interested in one of the $2 notes? Yeah, through my through my link, my TikTok link here, and then click just below the Australian flag, and it goes to my link tree. And on my link tree, there should be near the top, there should be a little envelope, which is like an email button. You click on that email button, and it should come up with my email address to send me an email. So there you go. John Boyrama. I have a 100 consecutive Johnston Stone $1 note. Note's perfect condition. Any idea what they're worth? So you've got 100 of them. Yeah, well, the book, though, I think the book value is per note about $10. The consecutive doesn't necessarily add a lot of value, but yeah, $10 in perfect condition, the Johnston Stones. You've got to check to see if they're first or last prefix, because if they are, they can be worth a lot more. So $175 each if it's a first prefix. But it might add a little bit of value, the consecutive notion to it, but it's probably more so people that have got family members. So if you've got 5 family members, you might want to buy 5 consecutive notes, so you've each got one, and then they're in order. But having said that, what I'm looking at right here, these ones are consecutive star notes from the US. So got a little star note here. So 24 star, 25 star, 26 star, and then it goes 27 star and 28 star. So I've got a few of those consecutives there. Yes, I like the idea of consecutive, but it doesn't necessarily add a huge ton of value. Doug Gower, I have some Japanese invasion money from World War II. My dad gave me cool. I just sold 10 consecutive of that year and general prefix for 170. Okay. So 10. Okay, so it was a bit of a markup. That's cool. Nice one. Nice. You're the best. Cool, thank you. Okay, how much are those star ones worth? I bought these at auction. I don't know what... I bought these at an auction. I think it was Eureka Coins auction back at the start of the year. Can't remember what I even paid for it, actually. There's 5 consecutive there. And they're all in perfect condition too. Don't know what year they are. Just have a closer look. It says 2000, the year 2000, series 2000. So, but they're in perfect condition, uncirculated condition star notes. But they're not. I think the American star notes are a little bit more common than Australian star notes. So, yeah, pretty cool. But I don't know what the value is, like if you tried to buy them at the moment. Don't the values always change? Oh, yeah, they do. So the book's not always going to be right. Yeah, the book's just a guide. The book's a guide, but it's a good place to start because, geez, like if you sort of look at some of the values in here, like I was sort of mentioning, I had a $1 note, and actually I think it might have been this one here. Now I bought it for $1, and it was in pretty good condition. But so look at all these different values here, and you're like, I don't know what the value is. So I was able to figure out it was a first prefix, so it had BYC on it, and it was up here. I know it was actually this one here was a last prefix. Yeah, it was a last prefix. So it was sort of fitted in this range here between 250 and 350. So I listed it for 280 and it sold straight away. Now, if I hadn't had this book, I might have listed it for like $9, just thinking this is a pretty good banknote, but it's still only $1. But yeah, so using this, it just gives you a better guide on what it's worth. Like, I mean, I've got some $20 notes that their book value in perfect condition, like $500. So just trying to figure out which one it is. It might be this one here. I think it could be this one here. Phillips wheel. I've got two of these in uncirculated condition. They're $500 value. Now I bought them for, I can't remember what I bought them for actually, but yeah. So the book is just a good guide. Just a good guide. Yep. Do you sell those books, Michael? It's through. I've got a link through to the Renix where they sell them. So no, I don't sell them, but I've got a link through to their site, and I'm sort of in a bit of an affiliate for Renix. So I sort of work with them, a bit of a partner with Renix. So they yeah, so we sort of work a little bit together, but I don't directly work for them. They just sort of yeah, a little bit of I make a couple of videos here and there and all that sort of stuff, and I've got links through to their products, but yeah, I don't necessarily work straight directly for them. Yeah. Can you get the $1 notes in the bank? Not really. Well, if you're lucky, if you're super lucky, they might have some of the older banknotes in the bank. But it's only if customers have brought the banknotes in to cash them in. And what happens is sometimes people, maybe elderly people sort of pass away and the family clean out the house and they might find some of these banknotes in the house and they go, oh, what do we do? Just take them to the bank, I suppose. And you take them to the bank and the bank will pay you for them face value. But the bank will eventually send them off to the Reserve Bank of Australia and they destroy them. So if you're lucky and if you ask the banks nicely, they might on the odd occasion have some that customers have brought in, and they sometimes might allow you to buy them back out for your collections and stuff like that. But yeah. Actually, Mum has heaps of old Australian notes, and it would be nice to know what they are worth. Yeah, that's right. Yep, some can be worth a lot of money. A lot of money. Did you hear that guy who had the first 5 pressed $100 notes? No, I didn't hear about that. I have 2 of the first Australian $10 polymer banknotes in sequence uncirculated, worth anything. You're talking about these ones here. Yeah. I'll have a look. So it's these banknotes here you're talking about. So it depends on the serial number on the note. So it really depends on the note. But generally speaking, either $65 in perfect condition or $75 depending on the serial number. And also, if the serial number is like a rare one, it could be like $2,250 each. So that's a last prefix. So it's got to be an AB33. And after the 33, it's got to have a 93, 94, or a 96 for it to be those ones there. But if it's those ones, you're doing really well. Same down here, $2,250 if it's got on your note. And we're talking about the prefix letters. We're talking about these bits here. We're looking at this sort of section of the note here. So if it has AB57 on your banknote, it's a last run of them, $2,250 each. So it just depends on your banknote. Some of them have got double A, so it's got a double A. They're the collector series. I've got one of those, so it's a bit further in the book, the collector version of those banknotes. They look exactly the same, but so these are the collector issue, and the letters on the note have double A, double A, double zero, double A, 23, and double A. So, and it also, these collector ones have a little 26th of January on the banknote as well. So I can show you that actually. I'll just grab it out. All right. So this is the one that's in the card, commemorative $10 note. So that there, and on the other side, I'll flip it over. At the top here, it's got 26th of January 1988. So these are the collector ones, and the serial number will be AA. Yeah, AA there, as opposed to these ones here. These ones were produced for circulation, so AB. If I flip it over, it won't have the 26th of January on the note there. So these ones were for circulation, and these ones were the collector ones, the AA's. Cute. What is your favourite banknote? I do love these banknotes. These ones are cool as, and I also love the $100 banknotes. So I'll show you a $100 banknote. And when I say the $100 banknote, I'm talking about the older ones. So these ones here. Try and get to the right page. There we go. So it's got Sir Douglas Mawson on it. He was a geologist, but also an explorer of Antarctica. And John Tubbett. So I don't know too much about who this person was. It might have been an architect or something like that, with some buildings on there, but I like those banknotes. I reckon they're really cool. Yep. Some people refer to them as the grey ghosts. Grey ghosts. So I like those banknotes, and I like these ones here, and this is the one I'm giving away actually. So this one here, because I've got a few of them. Actually selling a few too, because I've got a few, and I've got to free up some money so I can buy some other banknotes. Yeah, actually there's a few in here that I really like too. I've been buying some pre-decimal banknotes. These ones are from earlier in Australian times. So these are £5 banknotes, 1941. These are from Australia. And I'd love to buy some £10 banknotes. They're quite red in colour. They've got a really nice bright red. And I reckon they're pretty cool too. So I'd love to have some of those. Cool. All right, check a few more questions out here. Is it worth buying the coin collections from the post office when they are out? I don't really know. I haven't really bought them myself. No, I haven't. Do you mean the Great Aussie Coin Hunts? Some of those Great Aussie Coin Hunts you buy, they've got a coloured coin in them, and those coloured coins are usually worth a lot of money. So, yeah, definitely keep an eye out for those, Ashley. Yeah. Someone saying he kept them under the mattress and went to finally use one, and police thought they were fraud. Oh, that's no good. Good at all. Yeah, the Olympic ones or similar sets. Yeah, sometimes with some coins, Ashley, you buy them and the values go up straight away. So the values can get pretty steep pretty quickly. So, but other things, they don't necessarily go up in value too much. Yeah. I've more so been more interested in the circulating coins that you can find, just coins that are for circulation. Now, some of those coins you're talking about are just more collector coins that were produced for collectors, not in circulation. Lee, the AA Collector's $10 bicentennial with 26 of Jan on it. How much, please? Yep. So that's this one. This one here. So that's the one you're referring to. It's got the 26 of Jan on it. Just have a look in the book. So they're the ones for circulation. So I've got to go to the section where the collector ones are. It's a bit deeper into the book. So these are where the collector ones are. And these are the values here. So if they're just the normal run of them, $50 if they're in perfect condition. Uncirculated condition, $50. If it's got the AA00 for the serial number there, $260. And if it's a AA23, $125 if they're in perfect condition. Yeah. So that's those ones. How long does it take to sell a valuable coin? Oh, it really depends on the coin. It depends on a range of things. It depends on the coin, depends on where you're listening to sell it, how good are the photos you've got of it, the title, description. Are you selling lots of other things? Because on eBay, if you're selling lots of things, I think they tend to push a lot of your other listings a lot more, so you're more likely to get in front of people's eyes. Yeah, it depends. Marketing comes into it a fair bit. Yeah, so a fair few things that come into selling coins and how quickly they'll sell. I think I was saying just a little bit earlier on about a $1 note that I listed. It's a pretty rare $1 note that I found, and I listed it for $280. So I thought, geez, that's pretty steep. But I was going off the book values in here off the $1 note that I'd found. So I listed it, and because it was a first prefix, even though it was quite expensive that I was listing it for, it sold within about 10 minutes. So there's people, depends on what it is. If people are really keen on certain things, they'll buy it. So yeah, it's sometimes hard to know what value to put on things, and that's why it's good to have a bit of a guide, especially with the banknotes, to give you a bit of an idea on where to go with prices and stuff. What's the longest time it's taken to sell a coin for a coin to sell? Oh, look, I had a eBay store and had it to about 500 odd listings. I've still got some of those listings available, so it just keeps on ticking over. So it's not an auction. I don't usually list mine as auctions. I list them as buy it now, or you can place an offer in on the coin. And yeah, some of those listings are still up, and every now and then they still sell. I've sold a few things last week, and I haven't listed anything new for sale for quite a while. So it just depends. Just depends on the coin. Some of the more common things can sit there for a while, but yeah. All right. Is there anything else? Does anyone want to see anything in particular? I'm not too sure how many people are actually on the live stream. Probably not too many because of the content that I'm talking about. But yeah, if you've got any questions or you want to see anything in particular, I'll see if I've got something that you might want to have a look at. But hello, I love your content so much. I've learnt a lot about coins from you. Thank you, appreciate that. Thank you so much for doing these lives. So educational, very grateful. No worries, Ashley. Not a problem at all. I sort of figured with this content, I was putting those $1 notes in the folder. I was going to do it anyway today by myself, so I thought, oh, I might as well just put the camera on and show people what I'm doing, and yeah, answer any questions people might have as we're going. But most valuable note or coin you have? Oh man, I don't really know. I've got a $50 note. I'll just see if I can find it. Actually, it should be down here. Actually, it's not super rare, but there's a $50 note in here. Look at the book value. So this one's $365. That's another $365 $50 note. And I got these for $50. I got them all in one hit actually. This $50 note's worth $600, so it's in perfect condition. And the particular year it's a Johnston Fraser, but it's in uncirculated condition. $600 book value on that. So probably some of my more expensive notes. I've got a few $20 notes that I bought recently at a pretty good price, like below book value. And I thought I might list those for people to pick up through my emails. So it's these ones here. So they're 1974 Phillips Wheeler banknotes. So they're Australian $20 banknotes. These ones here, but they're quite rare. So they're $500 each. Now these two are in consecutive order. So the serial numbers are consecutive. A bit hard to try and get the reflection off. 23, 24. And in the condition that they're in, yeah, so that's like $1,000 if someone's willing to pay book value on them. Yeah, so I've got those listed at the moment. Whoa, what are those? So these ones here, I'll carefully take it out. So these are Australian $20 paper banknotes. So these were the banknotes before the current style of banknotes. That's got Sir Charles Kingsford Smith. I think he was one of the first navigational people who flew from maybe Australia to England or England to Australia. And I'm not too sure on that gentleman there, but in this condition, this note's worth about $500. But But I need to free up a little bit of money for other things that I'm interested in buying. So I've got those for sale at the moment. Hi, Michael. G'day, Moo Moo. No, it's not. Is it there? I had no idea you collected notes. I thought it was just coins. I'm sort of, yeah, I don't show as much on the notes side of things. So I'm more, it's a bit easier to sort of search through, it's a bit easier to search through coins because you can get lots of coins from the bank and you can search through them and try and find things. But with the banknotes, it's a bit harder to do that. So it's a bit hard to sort of show there. How can we subscribe to your emails? Yeah, fair call, Ashley. So if you click on my profile picture on TikTok here, and on my TikTok account, just below the Australian flag, there's a link. If you click on that link, it goes to my link tree, and I've got a free coin guide in there on my link tree. And if you click on that free coin guide and put your name and email address in, it'll put you onto my email list. So that's a way of getting onto my email list. Yeah, and I'm going to be selling a lot more banknotes. So if you're interested in some of these older style banknotes, so I've got a fair few $2 banknotes, some of the old $5 banknotes. They used to look like that. And there's a few $10 notes in here. A few more of those 20s, the $50 banknotes. Yeah, so there's a fair few different other banknotes I'm going to be listing over the coming weeks, maybe a month or so. So if you're interested, yeah, you probably want to get onto my email list so that I'll just email people directly. But having said that, there's like 15,000 people on my email list, so yeah, they might get snapped up pretty quick. So we'll see how we go. So awesome, and the 10 shillings, yeah, 10 shilling notes. Yeah, I'm not selling these ones. These ones for my own collection, but I am selling some other things. Yeah. All right, I might sort of wrap things up there. So appreciate everyone jumping on with all the questions and everything like that. But yeah, I've got some of the $1 banknotes into my folder here today, and that's what I was doing here. So I was just slotting some of those in here today, which was pretty cool. And probably tomorrow I might slot in some $2 notes, $2 banknotes into my folder here. So I've got plenty of space in here. I'm going to start filling up this folder right here. So I'm looking forward to that. Cool. All right, Ashley, have a good one. And we'll see you all again soon. All right, catch you later. Bye.